Welcome back to the deep dive where we cut through the noise and really distill what matters to get you well informed. Today, we're embarking on a fascinating deep dive into the world of electric vehicles. But we're not just talking about any EV. We're zeroing in on a tech titan that's not only entering the automotive arena, but is, well, already making colossal waves, really shaking things up. You likely know Xiaomi from their smartphones, maybe their smart home gadgets, that sort of thing. But believe it or not, they have swiftly become a very serious player in electric cars. And we've got some groundbreaking information that just dropped about their latest electric SUV, the YU7. It's rapidly proving to be a true game changer in what's already a hyper-competitive market.
Yeah, what's truly striking here isn't just, that they've launched another new vehicle. It's the sheer velocity and the immense scale of their impact. It's quite something. We are witnessing a company that introduced its second EV model, and within, 60 minutes, they accumulated this astonishing number of firm orders. This goes way beyond a typical product launch. It signifies a fundamental shift, maybe, in market dynamics, and it poses a really compelling challenge to major entrenched players, not least among them, Tesla.
So what does this explosive debut actually mean for the future of electric mobility? And how is the surprising challenger Xiaomi really poised to shake up a global industry? Let's unpack this for you.
Okay, let's kick things off by really digging into the astonishing debut of Xiaomi's new electric SUV, the YU7. Like you said, this isn't merely a successful product launch. It feels genuinely unprecedented in its immediate scale. The sheer volume of initial orders. It's something we just haven't seen before, right? Even in this crazy fast EV market. Indeed, it kind of defies typical expectations. Xiaomi officially unveiled the YU7 SUV in China, announced its pricing just recently. And the headline, the truly remarkable part, is that within only 1 hour of going public, the company reported receiving a staggering 289,000 firm orders for the YU7. Just wow. To give that context, Xiaomi's CEO, Lei Jun, had ambitiously predicted, maybe hoped, that the YU7's demand would be 3 times higher than their first EV, the SU7. And if you remember the SU7's launch, well, that was already a huge success. So
An incredibly high bar to clear. And you're right, the SU7 was absolutely no slouch. That first model famously got, 50,000 pre-orders in just 27 minutes, and then 90,000 in the first 24 hours back in March 2024. And they've delivered over 272,000 SU7s since then, which is, a pretty impressive ramp up itself. So to triple that initial demand for a new model, the YU7, within an hour, that kind of immediate, overwhelming consumer validation is just, it's extraordinary. What does this market reaction tell us about the EV industry right now and the consumer mindset?
Well, this immediate, almost viral success, it raises several critical questions, doesn't it? About brand loyalty, market readiness for new entrants, especially entrants from, outside traditional auto, tech companies moving in. It showcases an exceptional level of consumer trust and, frankly, excitement towards a tech company entering this space. It's not just about a good product, I think. It reflects a willingness among consumers to embrace new players who promise innovation, a different value proposition maybe. It's a very clear signal that the market is hungry for alternatives and that a strong, established tech brand can effectively leverage its ecosystem, its reputation, to disrupt even these massive established industries. It also suggests car buyers are increasingly looking beyond just traditional automakers, perhaps seeking more integrated digital experience,
That's a really key insight. It's not just a car anymore. It's an extension of their digital lives, potentially. So let's dig into the product itself then. What exactly is the YU7? What are its core features, the specs that are compelling nearly 300,000 people to say, yes, I want one now? What makes it so attractive?
Okay, so the Xiaomi YU7 is a 5-door, 5-seater SUV. Pretty standard format there. It's built on Xiaomi's own Modena platform. This platform is designed for flexibility, you see, allowing them to produce various models quite efficiently. The YU7 comes in 3 distinct versions, Standard, Pro, and Max. And the prices in China range from about $35,300 up to $46,000 USD. So they're hitting a few different price points. Breaking down those versions a bit, the standard one has a 96.3 kilowatt-hour LFP battery. That's lithium iron phosphate, known for being stable, long-lasting, generally a bit cheaper. This gives it an impressive 830 kilowatt CLTC range. Now, CLTC is the Chinese standard, often a bit optimistic compared to, say, EPA.
Right, you always have to adjust for the test cycle, but still, 830 kilometers sounds like a lot.
It's a very competitive number for that market, absolutely. The standard is rear-wheel drive, single motor, 235 kilowatts, does 0-100 kilometers in 5.9 seconds, solid performance. Then you move up to the Pro version. This gets you a dual-motor all-wheel drive system. Total power jumps to 365 kilowatts. It uses the same 96.3 kilowatt LFP battery, though, so the range drops slightly to 770 kilometers CLTC, which makes sense with the extra motor and power.
Okay, still very decent range, though. And the Max, that sounds like the exciting one.
Oh yeah, the Max version is definitely the performance king. Dual motor, AD again, but pushing out 508 kilowatts of power and a hefty 866 nanometers of torque. This one uses a larger 101.7 kilowatt NMC battery. Nickel, manganese, cobalt, usually better for energy density performance. Range is 760 kilometers CLTC, so still very good. And it gets from 0-100 kilometers in just 3.23 seconds. That's quick.
Wow, okay, that's seriously fast for an SUV.
It really is. And crucially, all YU7 models use Xiaomi's advanced 800V high-voltage architecture. This is a big deal. It allows for ultra-rapid charging. You can add hundreds of kilometers of range in, like, minutes. Really tackles that range anxiety issue head-on. Plus, they have these 22,000 RPM V6S Plus motors, basically aiming for high power density and efficiency.
Those are some very compelling specs, definitely. That 800V system is still pretty premium, but like you touched on earlier, what really sharpens Xiaomi's edge and where it gets really interesting is the price, isn't it? How they've positioned it.
Absolutely. That's the kicker. The YU7 is directly targeting the Tesla Model Y. I mean, squarely in its sights. And get this, the YU7 starting price is about $1,400 cheaper than the entry-level Model Y in China. And this is happening just as Model Y sales in China have actually dipped a bit.
Dropped 24% in the first 5 months of 2025 compared to last year, right? That's significant.
Exactly. So Xiaomi is clearly leveraging price alongside these impressive specs to go right after Tesla's market share. For Tesla, it's not just a cheaper rival, it's one with a very strong tech brand and potentially a different kind of appeal.
That aggressive pricing certainly fits Xiaomi's history in electronics, doesn't it? Offering high specs for less money, they're basically running the same playbook in cars. But, cars are different, margins can be tighter, service matters more. Can they sustain that aggressive pricing long term? And it's not just Tesla they're up against, is it? That Chinese EV market is incredibly crowded.
Oh, absolutely. That's a key question about sustainability long term. And yes, the Chinese EV market is, well, arguably the most competitive on the planet. The YU7 is fighting against really strong rivals. Think BYD Celion 07, Jopr 7, Envoy L60, Xpeng G7. Each of those brings something different. BYD is huge, vertically integrated, great battery tech. Jopr is known for premium design, Xpeng for its driver assistance tech. Envoy is NIO's more value-focused brand.
So it's a real battleground. How does Xiaomi stand out beyond price?
Well, like we said, it's that strong brand recognition from electronics. People trust Xiaomi. And it's the integrated software ecosystem. They're not just selling a car, they're selling an extension of the Xiaomi connected lifestyle. So, yeah, it's partly price, but it's also ecosystem, services, brand identity, and clearly it's working, at least initially.
So, yeah, it sounds like you get a lot of car, cutting-edge tech, competitive price, familiar brand. It's a potent mix. But this immediate, overwhelming success, it's not just about selling cars, is it? It's had this massive ripple effect right up to the top.
Absolutely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the sheer demand for the YU7 has had a direct and, frankly, profound impact on Xiaomi Group's stock price. It recently surged to an all-time high, 61.45 Hong Kong dollars. And this incredible jump, it directly propelled Xiaomi's founder, Lei Jun, to become the richest person in China.
Wow. That's quite the turnaround, especially given, some ups and downs they've had. Didn't their stock take a hit earlier this year after an accident involving one of their cars?
It did, yes. There were market fluctuations that incident. It shows how volatile things can be, but precisely. This huge market response to the YU7 has effectively reversed those trends, put Lei Jun right back at the top. It just underscores how much investor confidence is now tied to the success of their automotive division. The market is placing a massive bet on Xiaomi becoming a major player in EVs, not just phones and gadgets anymore.
But with great demand comes...
Well, great production challenges, right? It sounds like despite this amazing success, Xiaomi is facing some really serious hurdles in actually building these cars. It's one thing to get 300,000 orders. It's another thing entirely to deliver 300,000 cars quickly. What are the risks here?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Or maybe the billion-dollar question. Can they keep up? Xiaomi's auto division is indeed facing severe production constraints right now. Currently, they only have one main factory in Beijing, mostly making the SU7. They've upped their 2025 delivery target for the whole auto division to 350,000 vehicles. But honestly, that number significantly exceeds what their current single factory can realistically produce in a year. It's a classic bottleneck situation.
Okay, so what are they actually doing about it? Because, long waiting lists can kill momentum if competitors deliver faster. What's the plan? They are taking steps, definitely. But building car factories,
Sure.
it's a long, complex, expensive process. They acquired land for a second factory back in July 2024. That got approved in April 2025. But crucially, no firm production start date has been announced yet. These things take time. Years often. Each of these first two planned factories is aiming for about 150,000 vehicles a year capacity, so 300,000 total when both are running. But even now, just for the SU7, there's apparently a staggering 33-week waiting period in China.
33 weeks just for the first car.
Yeah, it clearly shows demand is just crushing their current supply.
And the YU7, with hundreds of thousands of orders on day one, that's just going to add immense pressure, surely.
It absolutely will. And what makes it even trickier is this. Even though the YU7 and SU7 share the Medina platform, apparently about 90% of the YU7's parts are completely new, totally different from the SU7.
Oh, really? 90%?
Yeah, so it's not like they can just easily switch lines over or quickly retool. It means setting up entirely new, complex manufacturing processes for the YU7, alongside trying to pump out SU7s. That significantly complicates ramping up YU7 production quickly. They had bought more land in June 2025 for maybe a third factory, but construction hasn't even started. You won't see cars rolling out of there next year, almost certainly not. It just highlights the sheer scale of the challenge.
It really sounds like Xiaomi struck gold with the YU7, a genuine winning formula. But the monumental challenge now is turning that incredible demand into actual cars in driveways. For you, the listener, this whole situation really highlights something crucial about the EV market. Success isn't just about a great design or a good price. It's massively about the ability to scale production efficiently. That's the real test. So let's sum up. What are the key takeaways from this deep dive into Xiaomi's YU7? We've seen a tech giant make this explosive entry into the electric SUV space, directly challenging the big players with aggressive pricing, impressive tech, and that powerful brand ecosystem. We saw that unbelievable market response, huge orders, pushing its founder to become China's richest person.
And maybe most importantly, right now, we've examined the very real, very significant production hurdles they face. Turning that massive demand into actual deliveries is the next chapter. The story of the YU7 is a potent reminder, isn't it? Even with immense popularity, a hit product. The sheer complexity of manufacturing and logistics can be the ultimate test, especially when you're growing that fast in the auto industry.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How long will people wait for these cars? Especially with other options appearing all the time. And can Xiaomi actually build factories faster than its competitors can react and maybe steal some of that thunder? Definitely something to mull over as you think about where the whole car industry is heading. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.